Virgin Orbit 747 will be used to carry a rocket containing a payload of up to 7 microsatellites into orbit, and then the rocket will ferry them into space. Melissa Thorpe heads the project.
The number one priority is safety. So we had to ensure that our safety case was robust and ensuring that it is environmentally sustainable as it possibly can be with where the technology is. We're just really excited for Cornwall to be proud of how we're launching to space. We're really trying to challenge the industry to do things differently. We're putting great satellites into space that are going to go on to help people and the planet, but we're doing it in a way that's responsible. So that's something that Cornwall can be really proud of.
The first mission is due to blast off possibly within the next 2 weeks, with the Civil Aviation Authority calling the development a major milestone for the UK. So, beyond the Cornish pasties, the clotted cream, the beaches, and its own ancient language, Cornwall is set to enter the space race and make money out of it as well. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
A reminder of our top stories. A Dutch court has found 3 men guilty of murder for using a Russian-made missile to shoot down a passenger plane over eastern Ukraine in 2014, killing nearly 300 people on board flight MH17. Millions in the UK will have to pay more in tax after new government plans aimed at stabilising the economy. And the United States faces a divided Congress for the next 2 years after the Republicans clinched a narrow victory in the House of Representatives following the midterm elections. That's the latest feature story news. I'm Benji Haya in Washington, D.C.
Don't forget, you can listen online too at kchw.org.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7, and I believe we are live. I got Phillip Dutton with me this morning. Good morning, Phillip.
Good morning, Scott.
All right. You feeling ready for this after a few-week hiatus?
Yep.
All right.
I need practicing while you're gone. In the mirror with a comb.
How'd that work for you?
It's great. Nobody criticizes me. I do it perfect every time.
All right. Who's criticizing you when you're not in the mirror?
I don't know. Nobody.
Okay. You're just making that up. I get it. All right. We will be joined. At least we believe we will. Brandon Hanson, as soon as he gets to work in Colville, will be joining us this morning on the morning show. Find out a little bit maybe about what's going on at TED as well. So that's pretty cool. Quick look at weather. You guys, Phillip, have been just cold, crazy cold.
So cold.
Especially during those nighttime hours. Now, you will warm up to 34 today with plenty of sunshine, but back down to 13 tonight. Have you ever had a problem with your pipes freezing at your place, Phillip?
No, not why I have lived here. Fortunately.
Right.
But I hear that lots of people do. I see, especially this time of year, like plumbing trucks and stuff all over the place. Wow. So imagine that's why.
Mobile homes are the worst, and it's one thing, you kind of forget that you should be checking those heat tapes, underneath the mobile home. A lot of time you forget, and they just kind of erode due to weather and that kind of stuff, and always being outdoors, and all of a sudden you got frozen pipes. And always a good thing, I always kind of use that about 18-degree mark to start, leaving some water dripping, something like that. So there's your reminder. Saturday, you've got 34 and 14 under mostly sunny skies. Sunday, 36 and 21, partly cloudy skies. Monday, looking at 35 and 23. You've got morning clouds and then some afternoon sunshine. And then it changes for the rest of next week. You've got the possibility of snow or a snow-rain mix every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and now they've even pushed that into Saturday and Sunday. So like a 7-day stretch where you could be getting some precipitation, especially the first few days, in the form of snow. And then it looks like by the time you're heading into the weekend, it could be a slushy mix. So be ready for that next week. And especially, I know you do lots of driving, right, Phillip?
Yeah. No, it's been, I don't know, a little while to see so much snow already this early.
It is kind of crazy.
feels early. I know that in Addie, we always tend to get a little bit more snow than Chihuahua does. And so this last storm, we had probably about a foot come down in those like 2 days. And, that was at the very beginning of November. So it just seemed so good. It seemed wild.
Sure. All right, I saw Brandon Hanson trying to join us, and then he kind of disappeared. But hopefully he'll join our Zoom meeting. We got ourselves live on YouTube, Facebook, and the KCHW.org website as well. Quick reminder, it is November. It is our fundraising month, and you can log on to that website at KCHW.org or NorthernLightsPublicRadio.com and get yourself a membership and support public radio. Also, I haven't heard if we have any of the cool light-up mugs left, but those may be available as well. Heard a little voice in the background. Is that you, Brandon Hanson?
Oh, that's me. Yeah, I'm here.
You're here. All right. We don't see you. Did you turn off your video today?
Oh, yeah, you don't want to see me right now.
Well, that's no fun. All right.
But I am using the desktop computer, and it does not have a suitable camera.
All right.
I have the Franken laptop hooked up to a large TV right now.
All right. So you had to jump through some hoops to join us on the show today.
Just a little bit, but this is a nice setup because I get to sit in my office chair that's very comfy.
Okay. All right. You are a little echoey, but we'll take that because we are glad to have you here. Now, speaking of weather, I caught this morning. I'd be glad you're not in Buffalo, New York, as they declare a state of emergency, bracing for 4 feet of snow in an apocalyptic winter storm that is going to set records, they believe. So could you imagine waking up tomorrow and having 4 feet of snow on the ground?
I don't think I would wake up at that point. They just go back to bed.
And they're saying it's going to be life-threatening because imagine you could get people trapped in their homes and stuff because that's going to be higher than your door, causing a lot of problems and especially dangerous for elderly people. So it's kind of scary there. Heaviest snow for Buffalo area is expected through tonight. National Weather Service said snow could fall at the rate of more than 3 inches per hour, and it's expected to be a couple-day storm. And pictures already online looking like a crazy amount of snow. So I'm really thankful because I could throw rocks and probably hit the state of New York, but we are not expecting this to brush us. So that's kind of nice.
Oh, nice. Have you got any snow so far over there?
I was making fun of you guys last week because we were still in the 60s, and then over the weekend, a cold snap dumped about like 3 inches of snow, and now it's just kind of staying cold and icy. I walked over to the kids' house last night for dinner, and I had to do that because we had like a little ice storm, so everything is just like glass. And I was like skating in my shoes, trying to avoid falling. But it was that ice that's like glass that's just, there's no way to get traction. Even with the spikes they're not really spikes, they're like wire, they're like tire chains almost for your car, but they're the round wires. And even on that, I did not feel safe. I was just sliding everywhere. So I always hate that kind of stuff. And at my age, you don't want to fall.
Yeah, no, I mean, you just think back to just a couple weeks ago and it was Halloween, and it was so nice here for Halloween. And then that very next weekend, it was like, it's covered in snow. It's I don't know. We had a bunch of people that were like, 2 weeks ago, I was wearing shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have that change so quickly.
I'd like to look back because I bet you it wasn't even 4 weeks ago. You guys were in the mid 70s.
Yeah.
You had that long summer, and once again, 0 fall in Chihuahua. It goes right to winter. All right. So,
Indeed.
So, Mr. Hanson, are you located at home today, or are you at your TED facilities?
I'm located at home,
All
so yeah, it's lovely.
All right. Did you
It's
bring?
luxurious.
Did you? I know I told you to take advantage of this time we have you on the radio and discuss some of the things that are going on at TED. I was out for a couple weeks and we were off the air for the morning show. Do you have any updates for us for what's happening at TED?
Yes, today I'll be at the Chula Public Library for TED in the Library, which is essentially me providing business services to people in town so they don't have to drive up to Cobble to talk to me there at our office. So this will just make me a little more accessible to people at Chula. So if you have some business questions, you're looking to start a business, need some business planning, I can help you out along with giving you a bunch of TED resources. We do have a few programs we can point out to you there. So I will be at the library from 10 to 3. It'll be hard to miss me because Brian puts me right by the entrance and then I throw stuff at people as they walk by. So TED in the library, and I'll be there from 10 to 3.
All right. And if you miss them, a great place to catch up with them today, 10 to 3, Chewelah Library, because as we all know, people in Chewelah love Brandon Hanson.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well,
I was
most
gonna say the library.
also the library. We love the library.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be bringing the library down there, Brandon.
I always do.
Now, have you expanded any of your other locations that you were talking about last month about being available at for people too interested in business services?
Yeah, we'll be going down to Lakeside next week and be bouncing around. We're actually submitting a grant for it, so we can go to a lot of different libraries around the area there.
All right. All right. Any other TED news you want to share?
It's the end of the year, so we're just kind of buttoning up, all our reporting and stuff before we switch to a new financial year and all that fun stuff. So, not at the moment there.
All right. Just a few community notices. First one, Chewelah Food Bank going to be closed on Thanksgiving because they're usually open on Thursdays. That is this coming November 24th, but they will be open on Wednesday, November 23rd. From 10 to 2, and they asked us to get that information out. So if you might need some extra supplies, and foods for Thanksgiving, Food Bank open on Wednesday instead of Thursday from 10 to 2. And, of course, that's downtown in the Senior Center on, what do they call that, Northeast 3rd South for them because they're on the other side of Main Street. Let's see. I also had a message from Tammy. And Tammy is the Cougar Club president. And Tammy would like to remind people there is a rally for the high school football team going to state on Saturday. And this happens tonight at the Melody Riders Arena. Button up because it's going to be cool. But get out there from 6 to 7:30 and support our Chewelah Cougars. Very, very cool. All right. Have you been following? I know you have limited work at the newspaper, but have you been following the Cougs this year, Brandon, and have anything you can share with us?
Yeah, they'll be playing in obviously the state quarterfinals against Toledo, a team from Southwest Washington that went 9-1. Should be a good game. Both teams have impressive records, impressive teams, and when you reach this point of the season, there are no bad teams. It is Moses Lake, which I've covered a football game or two over there, and I tell you that lake effect over there, it gets foggy and chilly real quick. So don't expect a warm game on Saturday there. It's going to be frigid. I still think I have a few toes that are missing from the previous games I've shot there in Moses Lake. I don't know what it is. If it's flat, if it's the lake right there, but it gets chilly at night.
Oh, wow. And then with the cool temperatures, that's not going to help. And having those cold hands and trying to catch handle a football, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, they did have to move the football game from Buffalo because apparently the NFL was going to frown upon playing in 4 feet of snow.
It'd almost be fun to see, though, wouldn't
it? You couldn't see anything. You just see little helmets popping out from the top of the snow there.
Huh. I kind of like the idea, though. All right. Let's see. Now, I tried to log on to the community calendar from the chamber, and just in case anybody's listening, it is down. But I kind of remember a couple of them, if I can pull it out of my brain here. There was a get together on Saturday morning, and I want to say it is at 9 a.m. And this is a Decorate Chihuahua, so you can get out in the morning and help folks put up some Christmas decorations around town. They were meeting at the Mountain View Park at 212 North Baker, and I was trying to picture that. What park is that, Brandon? We were trying to figure that out yesterday.
No, hold on. Wait, which part?
They called it the Mountain View Park at 212 North Baker.
Is that the Triangle Park?
That's what I thought, but that's actually on Clay.
Yeah.
Unless they're naming Cross Street, but I didn't think that Cross Street right there was Baker, but I could be
pull
wrong.
up Google Maps here. All
right.
Now what is it? This is delightful radio.
212 North Baker. Well, I want to give out the correct information on the radio. So and I've just never heard Triangle Park referred to as the Mountain View Park. And with all the houses around there, could you actually really view a mountain? And then I was trying to think, well, where's Baker Street? I mean, I know the song.
That's by the. It's by the. The housing park there on the end of town. Yeah, this is it's the okay. I don't know. I can't confirm.
All right. Anyways, they're meeting at 212 North Baker. Just, GPS it and get there, 9 o'clock Saturday. And since I can't pull it up, I don't have any more information on that one, but we'll send out a message to the chamber and let them know their calendar has crashed.
Uh-oh.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right. Now, I know you guys are both geeks. Have you been following all the space stuff that's happening between NASA and Space Force? We got a rocket going to the moon. I'm not sure which day it's supposed to get there. And with dummies in it, which they could have just used us.
No, thank you, Scott.
And then
I've seen Apollo 13.
I want to go.
And then our new space plane. Did either of you know we had a space plane?
You're not supposed to know about the space plane, Scott.
Well, they unveiled it right before Biden headed off to China just to kind of show off. But that was very cool. 908 days orbiting the Earth, and nobody knew about it. That's a pretty good secret. Our government's not very good at secrets.
What do they have on it?
They haven't said. They would release some satellites, and they were doing a bunch of tests. But I'm guessing, because it's Space Force, right? And we've had incidences of other nations blowing up satellites. So I'm guessing it has lasers.
Laser beams.
I'm really excited about that. Or perhaps some missiles. All right.
Spotify.
Spotify? What?
You said what did it have?
Spotify.
Maybe it has that.
They need a little web feed, like direct, so we can watch.
Yeah.
All right. Looking at a few news headlines before we get to the funner stuff today. Evangelical figures coming out. Donald Trump having a lot of trouble after the midterms. Evangelical figures who previously supported Donald Trump backing off now that he's announced his third bid for presidency. Mike Evans told the Washington Post, Donald Trump can't save America. He can't even save himself. I like trolling the one-liners like that. Evans part of an evangelical group who met with Trump at the White House and at one point gave him an award. Now he says they're done with Trump. He said he used us to win the White House. We had to close our mouths and eyes when he said things that horrified us, and we're not going to do that anymore. A lot of people I know, big donors came out. They had a list of donors yesterday that will not be funding him for a re-election and have turned to DeSantis to throwing their money at him. And Trump even yesterday, late in the day, was threatening politicians that wouldn't endorse him and businesses that were pulling their funding and putting
That's
in
how
other
you get
places.
endorsement. You threaten them. That is master stroke of a strategy.
What kind of threats?
You know, it's kind of like what he said about DeSantis. I'm going to tell people things about you.
No, he's going to use the Space Force plane.
I don't think he has the keys to
was
that.
up there.
I don't think he has the keys to that anymore. On another side of the news.
Maybe he has a spare that was tucked under the couch somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah, I flushed it down the toilet.
Along with all the other classified documents.
I'd like to see a picture of him in the White House, when they said he did that and he plugged the toilet with a plunger looking at the camera with a bunch of papers sticking out of the toilet. That might be a good one just to Photoshop up for fun, as a fake. All right. All right. More problems from criminal trial of Donald J. Trump's family business took an emotional turn on Thursday as one of the former president's most loyal executives laid bare the machinery of a sprawling tax fraud, scoring points for the prosecution during hours of illuminating testimony in which Mr. Alan Weisselberg actually broke down and cried, they say.
What, a tax fraud? I've never heard of that before. This is shocking news, I tell you.
About to come out with a song called the Tax Fraud Shuffle. I'm working on it. I'm serious. I'm working on it. Got some sick beats going on, some clips of Donald. Look for it next week on the show.
Is there not any type of rules about, having a ton of lawsuits pending against you and running for president?
There... And funny you asked that question because the next couple of stories kind of address that. And that is a question people are asking. And a couple of the stories, one here says the devious reason Donald Trump announced his 2024 run now. And what it is the DOJ won't arrest somebody or indict them during voting or the proximity of voting. So they said what this has done by him announcing it, and normally it wouldn't have made a difference. But since they have a runoff election in Georgia and that he's involved in that, typically the DOJ would not indict someone during that period. But once we go past December 6th, it's wide open. And then another story was talking about people's questions. And what the DOJ calls this is a 60-day rule. They're not going to do anything within 60 days of an election if somebody is involved in that election as far as indicting them or arresting them. But that'll change after December 6th. Maybe something will happen right before Christmas where he gets indicted on the secret documents, this tax fraud case. Who knows? But what they say is people have been looking into this because this is going to be the first time where someone could possibly, well, I can't say the first time because Nixon, but where somebody is going to be potentially running for president and having these lawsuits against them, and one where they could be indicted and end up sent to prison. And the theory was that they can't touch him once he's running. And they've said in this story that this was, so somebody wants to check it out. This is from The Guardian. They're saying the law is clear, politics less so. If Donald Trump's third run for the White House is propelled by large doses of narcissism and revenge, the former U.S. president must also be hoping that his high-profile political campaign may keep his myriad of legal problems at bay before they bury him. Prosecutors from New York, Georgia, and Washington, D.C. have been spending months digging into the arrays of alleged crimes before, during, and after Trump was president. Some of those investigations are coming to fruition, with indictments expected to follow within months, possibly weeks, on charges that could potentially see Trump become the first former U.S. president to go to prison. His declaration that he is once again a candidate changes nothing, according to these attorneys. Under the law, it changes nothing. Legal minds broadly agree that while a sitting president is protected from prosecution in office, that immunity disappears when they leave the White House and does not count if they are running for office. And that's the way it should be. I mean, why should somebody who's committed a crime be allowed to protect themselves simply by trying to get into the White House?
I don't really get why he's allowed to run in the first place, but yeah, I agree.
There is a bill floating right now at the Capitol that will ban him from ever holding a political office again because he was involved in an insurrection. And that's the way they're taking on that. Now, whether that could see ground with the House being controlled by Republicans, but at the same time, you've got Republicans jumping ship left and right on Trump. So maybe there could be enough of a push to pass that through. And that would protect us from all the ugliness that's going to add to another political campaign, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens.
I for one think he's going to win.
You think he's going to win?
Oh, yeah, he's going to win. We're going to have President Trump in 2024, and everybody in Chihuahua is going to be thrilled.
I feel like if that happens, then the world will end.
And perhaps it should.
America will be great again. And yeah, we can
again.
Happy days.
All right.
We're going to have t-shirts that say like, commit treason, win a presidency.
Well, I am going to wear a bunch of tactical gear and walk around because of my freedom.
I didn't think you could wear more than you already do.
That's true.
You got a thick skin. It's okay.
Yeah.
More political news, and to the probably joy of people on both sides of the aisle, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Thursday announced she will relinquish her leadership role after Republicans clinched a majority control of the chamber, opening the door for a new leader of the Democratic caucus. She says, "I will not seek re-election to the Democratic leadership in the next Congress." Pelosi is 82. She did that in a speech on the House floor yesterday. She said, "For me, the hour's come for a new generation to lead." And I think that's should be the theme throughout our government. Let's get some younger blood in there, because literally we have a bunch of old people making laws for the rest of us that are not going to be around to have to deal with those laws. We do need some I think, young blood in the Capitol. In 2002, Pelosi became the first woman elected as a party leader in Congress, which was cool. 2007, she became the first woman elected Speaker of the House, which is very cool. She's had some milestones, and I think that's great for women across the planet. You know, whether you like her politics or not, you know, she's been a powerful force. And in many times, I mean, you might not like her politics. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't enjoy, but I did appreciate the way she did stand up to Donald Trump. Let's see.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I, for one, enjoy our government consisting of nothing but 80-year-olds. It's fantastic. Having seen an 80-year-old handle a smartphone, it really makes me feel good about our government.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my parents couldn't even program their thermostat. You know, and it was like the big deal out of Hillary using Yahoo. Which, are you really expecting her to set up a mail server? It's not going to happen. All right. So, who might take her place? They look like they're going to back a Representative Hakeem Jeffries out of New York to succeed her as the next leader of the Democratic caucus. We'll see what happens there. In my, let's see, man, you're a hypocrite category, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is a man who contains multitudes, apparently. McConnell McConnell voted to block the Respect for Marriage Act on Wednesday. This was a bill that would protect some rights for same-sex marriages and interracial married couples, despite himself being in an interracial marriage. McConnell's married to former President Trump's Secretary of Transportation, Elaine Chao, the first Asian American woman ever to serve in a presidential candidate. I wonder what that's going to be like at home.
Awkward.
Yeah, very awkward. You voted against protections for interracial marriage? Come on. All right, let's see. Last one. This one is, before we talk about Elon, anyways, last one. This one is United States deeply concerned about the Chinese government setting up unauthorized police stations in U.S. cities. This story is a little flawed, but China has set up a police station in New York. How can you do that? And even the FBI is asking, can they do that? And the goal here is to find Chinese nationals that are wanted in China and get them back into China to face charges. But yeah,
I feel
in
like
New
we have
York, there's a
a
Chinese
process
police
for that.
station. What'd you say? What'd you say, Brandon?
I feel like we had a process for that extradition or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't think you can just send your police over to another country and round up people.
much less communist police department.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And it just kills me when things like this happen that are out of the ordinary, and you have the FBI going, "Is this legal?" Like nobody's knows.
No, I don't think it is legal.
All right. I made a proclamation yesterday. I was talking about Elon Musk and how he has sat up his employees. If you hadn't heard the story, they had till 5 o'clock yesterday to click a button and promise, fill out like a form promising and pledging that they would, what did he call it? I don't know. He called it Twitter 2.0, and that they would go hardcore, like putting in massive hours and stuff like that after he laid off, half of the staff there. And those that didn't click the link and fill out the paperwork, and I don't even know if this is legal. I'd really like to dig into that, would be let go with now 3 month severance, of course. But they'd be let go. And I told a story of working in Spokane for a radio group where we had a manager who berated the whole staff and how miserable that was. And he would always say at employee meetings, if you don't like it, get up and leave. And just once, and I actually tried to convince the staff of this, let's all walk out. Let's all walk out of a meeting until he says sorry, because he can't run it by himself and he's being a jerk. And I said the people of Twitter should do that. And they did yesterday. In mass. Hundreds. Other reports, New York Times said it was in the hundreds, while other earlier reports suggest the number could be much higher. Departure comes after Musk already cut 50% of Twitter's jobs layoffs. On Twitter, dozens of employees who had survived the initial round of layoffs tweeted farewell messages on the site. One employee tweeted a video of a whole group of workers inside counting down to 5 p.m. Huh.
Oh, Elon. Yeah, and they basically had to lock down all the buildings after 5, because I think the story was they were afraid of employees coming back and vandalizing and messing things up. But essentially, there's nobody running Twitter right now. Enough people have quit that they are actually very worried about the stability and ability for Twitter to operate.
So right now on Twitter, it's a free fall. Phillip, you can go post whatever you want.
Well, I was gonna say it's especially worrisome because a bunch of the people that were let go or left were people that were directly responsible for making sure that things like misinformation and hate speech don't spread on Twitter more than they do already. So yeah, that is worrisome.
So like today could be a total free-for-all. Say whatever you want on Twitter, and it's probably going to just slide right through.
On Thursday evening, the version of the Twitter app used by employees began slowing down, according to one source familiar with the matter, who estimated that the public version of Twitter was at risk of breaking during Thursday night. One employee said, "I know of 6 critical systems which no longer have any engineers. There is no longer even a skeleton crew manning these systems. It will continue to coast until it runs into something, and then it will stop."
Wow. And that could happen. That years ago when we first started the radio station, the board asked me what would happen if I died, because we didn't have anybody trained or with the technical knowledge to run all the equipment. And that's what I projected. I said, well, it'll probably run for itself for about 2 weeks. And at that point, something's going to happen and the machine will break because it isn't getting massaged, and you'll just have to turn it off. Or hire someone with the knowledge, maybe out of Spokane or something like that to run it. But and now we got a safety net with our new manager, Michelle. So that's really good. But the station kind of ran in that same form. What I wonder is he dropped $44 billion on this. Is this website going to get scuttled? Is it going to crash? And does that bankrupt the world's richest man?
This thing is not going well. For me, there's a slight conspiracy theory in me saying he is purposely running it this way because he's making so many terrible choices and treating employees so badly. It almost seems like he's doing it on purpose to tank Twitter. The theory is he didn't really want to buy Twitter because he backed out first when saying, I don't want to buy Twitter. There's a theory the FCC said, hey, you can't keep pumping up stock and then selling it off and stuff like that. He's been accused of stock manipulation before. So I think, he was kind of forced to buy Twitter at this point, saying if you say you're going to buy it, then you have to buy it. You can't keep doing this manipulation with the prices, the stock prices and stuff. So, and one thought is, he has some financiers for this company. One of them is Saudi Arabia. And the idea is they're not too thrilled with the ability for Twitter to spread a bunch of ideas quickly. It can be traced back to the Arab Spring, if you remember that, caused some revolutions in some of the Middle Eastern states. So the theory is he's tanking Twitter on purpose. Now, this is a theory. This isn't proved or anything. I want to preface it with that. But you look at the way he's running Twitter and the fact that now buildings are locked down and nobody's running the ship. It really sounds like he's doing it. It's got to be on purpose. Nobody is this stupid, right? Right? Nobody's this dumb, right?
You would think so. Or has he just snapped like Kanye and making some really, really bad decisions? Has he gotten so full of himself with his ego now that or like you say, is it purposeful? Well, I guess we have to wait and see. But
another issue is he used Tesla stock to kind of leverage the purchase of Twitter. So if Twitter declares bankruptcy, those creditors will come after Tesla. So enjoy. Have fun, everybody.
Well, pretty much. I thought it was funny when he was said he was going to pull all the satellites above Ukraine and kill their internet unless we started paying, what was it, $1 million a month for Ukraine to have internet. And then people just totally backlashed him and trolled him and said how horrible that was to give him that internet and then pull it back. It has to be paid and pull it back. And then he came on and he said, that's all right, forget it. SpaceX will cover it. Well, SpaceX has covered everything, which, if you really want to look at it in the big picture, is Americans have covered the whole thing. Because the only reason SpaceX is so well off is because NASA hasn't had their own equipment and have been paying him to deliver everything to the International Space Station and using his rockets. So we have basically, American taxpayers have lined Musk's pockets through SpaceX. So we're still paying for the internet in Ukraine. All he has to do is jack up the prices a little bit. He's charging NASA, and it's covered. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing, and you have to consider. I hate how people say SpaceX is Elon because there are many, many, many engineers, managers, all that are actually running the company. Elon is a figurehead. He might be an engineer. He might have an engineering brain, but he's certainly not an official rocket scientist or anything like that. No. With Tesla, he did not design the Tesla cars. He just hopped onto the company when it was ready to go kind of deal. This is the work of other people that he's kind of attached his name to. So this kind of celebration of this guy is a bit unfounded because he's essentially just good at moving stocks around and getting into a company when it's smart to be the leader of that company kind of deal. But in terms of the actual running of the companies, we've heard about the issues with Tesla in terms of the conditions at their factories and how employees kind of hate working there. So we already kind of saw this before, and now Twitter is just the ultimate. I don't even know what to say. So I have never. Have you seen another $1 billion company just fall apart this fast?
No, never.
Like within days of the announcement, it was, already suffering irreparable damage. Just crazy.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah.
Target, it was a failed business, and it floated around or not Target, excuse me, Kmart. Kmart was falling apart, and it took them like 20 years to die.
He's on a fast track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge meltdown, and it's going to be, I guess, interesting to watch and sad at the same time. All right, that's the headlines that I dug up for today. Thanks, you guys, for participating. Moving along this morning, it is KCHW Chihuahua, and a little fun with, let's see, Phillip and Brandon. Here we go.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right, do we call this fun and games? And it is actually a little bit of trivia with Brandon and Phillip, where, I'm just kind of evil, and I just put them head-to-head to see who fares the best this morning. First trivia question for you boys is: there's a 1 in 2 million chance you'll die from what this year? And it is something that can happen inside the house. So ponder ways that you might die inside your own house this year.
A toaster.
It is nothing electrical.
Falling down the stairs.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, it is not falling down the stairs, but that is an incredibly good guess. I mean, it has to do with falling.
Oh, I think I know, but I don't want to. Phillip.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Falling out of bed.
Falling out of bed. Wouldn't that be a horrible way to, and that's exactly it. Wouldn't that be a horrible way to die?
Yeah.
People
And embarrassing because my bed's like a foot off the ground.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how tall are these people's beds?
I guess, like, have you ever seen, like, I don't know, have you ever seen somebody have their bed against the wall and then fall in between the wall and the bed? They get stuck.
Yeah, but still, is that going to kill you? I guess maybe if you were like really crunched in there and having a hard time breathing, or you panic too much. It's like the story a few months ago. We had a couple. It was two ladies sleeping together in a hide-a-bed who got trapped inside the hide-a-bed and died.
Yeah.
All I can say,
That's terrifying.
it is. Be careful at home. That's all I got to say.
Well, I guess it's a 1 in 2 million chance.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
Which is
long
better
odds.
the odds than the lottery. Just saying.
Yeah, but I bet you, like, electrocuting yourself or falling down the stairs is like 1 in 100 or something like that.
More so, sure. All right. The first one of these sold for $600 in 1906. Today, the cheapest is around $328,000. Your hint is it moves.
Elephant.
No.
A car.
What type of car in particular? So the cheapest today is around the cheapest version of this car, so the cheapest model, is $328,000. And key in here that in 1906, the cheapest one sold for $600. What car is it?
I know.
You know? Go ahead.
It's like a Bentley or a Rolls Royce.
It is a Rolls Royce. There you go, Phillip. Good job. All right, we're going to save the answer wrong and win till the end because that's a little funner. Let's see. 12% of Americans say they won't do what next week?
Go on Twitter.
Celebrate Thanksgiving.
I'll take that, Phillip. Correct answer was eat turkey, but I'll go with that. 3.5 million birds die this way each year. 3.5 million birds die this way each year.
Being hit by cars.
You're warm.
Being hit by planes.
No.
Windmills.
What'd you say, Brandon? You're a little quiet. You got to yell.
Windmills.
Windmills. Good answer, but not
How's
true.
that close to cars? I was going to say. That's right. I'm out of here.
So you were right. It is, you were talking about them running into things or being hit by things, but it's the opposite. It's something the birds hit.
Each other.
Where's my
The
crickets?
buildings.
You're warm once again, Philip. Take it a step further than just the building. You get to
Windows.
watch while this happens.
Windows.
Windows. That's what we're looking for. Wow, that was a tough one. I was like pulling teeth. Huh. Sorry.
You know, buildings, cars, they're nearly identical.
Yeah. It's kind of freaky, though, if you've ever been standing in front of a window looking out and a bird smacks into it. You jump a little. All right. Just 2% of adults say they can do this in 15 minutes or less. Just 2% of adults can do this in 15 minutes or less. What are they doing, boys?
New York Times crossword puzzle.
No, sir.
Getting ready for the day.
That's right. Getting ready for work and getting out the door. 15 minutes. I would say those are the smelly coworkers, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, those are the ones you sit like 2 cubicles down from.
Downwind. All right.
I'm glad we're on Zoom.
Here's a question. This one is a trick question. How much dirt is there in a hole that measures 2 feet by 3 feet by 4 feet?
None.
Next question.
Philip goes in first. None. Because why, Philip?
Because it's a hole.
That's right. Wonder if we
My
could.
grandpa used to always ask me things like that.
Oh, is that a trick question?
That's just devious. All
Yeah.
right. In the U.S., close to 140 million shoppers do this every week.
Buy stuff?
From where?
Kmart.
No, sir.
Buy stuff. But is it a specific store?
It is. 140 million shoppers do this every week. What store are they shopping at?
Build-A-Bear.
It's Walmart.
Oh, I love Walmart.
Yeah, leading the pack. What's unique about the words billowy, almost, biopsy, and almost? I don't know why it's in there, too.
The doctors told you this last time you went to a doctor's visit, Scott.
They did? What?
Yeah. Billowy.
Billowy? You're a bit billowy in the stomach area, Scott. Thanks for that, Brandon.
What are the words again?
Billowy, almost, and biopsy. Something about the way they're spelt.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of it.
I'm going to check on Facebook and see if there's any help for you guys. Absolutely no help. But a good morning from Ron in Oak Harbor. All right.
Morning, Ron.
All those words, they're letters. If you picture them in your mind, they are spelt in alphabetical order. All the letters are in alphabetical order.
That's fun. I'm going to look up Oak Harbor. Let's see.
Let's see what's there. All right. 15% of all dogs in America have this in common, and you would never expect a dog to have this. I'll give you a hint. It's a kind of a type of disease, or at least a health problem. About 15% of all dogs in America have this in common, and it is not flatulence. Because I knew one of you would say that.
They're stinky?
Of course, all dogs are stinky, but this is like a health problem. I actually have the same health problem, and I can't imagine a dog would have it, but I guess so.
Diabetic?
No, but you can warn. Name one of my other health problems, please.
Allergic to everything?
Yes, dogs with allergies. Wow. Just think a dog could be allergic to a human.
Well, we really need to get back to cats and make them allergic to us.
Yes, because they're the worst at it, right? All right. We're going to wrap this up with some answer wrong and win. I just want the funniest one from either one of you. I've got a few of them here. Answer wrong and win. Name something you put on a baked potato.
OxyClean.
I couldn't hear either one of them.
Okay.
So what?
Sorry, Brandon, you go ahead.
Elon Musk.
And Philip?
I said OxyClean.
All right. Maybe I'll point these directly. Brandon, what's the color of a highway yield sign?
Polka dot.
And Philip, name something a queen wears on her head to signify her royalty.
Is there a queen?
Well, not right now, but I'm sure somewhere on the planet there's a country with a queen.
Oh, yeah. Maybe a pillow? I don't know. Yeah, a pillow.
A pillow. And let's see. What do you use to keep your shoes attached to your feet, Brandon?
I use kittens.
All right. Phillip, name something that's needed on the International Space Station.
I already said it. Spotify.
Brandon, what defense mechanisms are skunks known for?
Their ability to tweet things.
All right. And Phillip, how many feet are in a yard?
11.
11.
I didn't know that anyway.
Yeah. Brandon, name something you can buy covered in leather.
An ex-wife?
Which one? All right. And last one, Phillip. Name a type of fuel you would burn in a typical home fireplace.
Yogurt.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Correct answer, Cheetos. Because I think they actually burn, don't they?
Cheetos burn?
I don't know.
I heard
I
that.
gotta try this out.
I heard it's a thing. All right,
They're
we're going
good to burn.
We're going to break. When we come back, we got some fun stories. We'll cover this weekend's movies, and of course, we always wrap up with odd news. Stay right here. It's Northern Lights Public Radio. Phillip, Brandon, and Scott, stick around.
The party looks nice.
What looked nice?
Oh, Carver.
Oh, all right.
Ron lives in a fancy place, man.
Yeah. All right, you got about 5 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna go start a fire. It's like 8 degrees here.
All right.
You're listening to 102.7 KCHW Shawila.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, November the 18th, 2022. I'm Mike Clifford. People rallied outside of the Bellingham City Hall on Thursday to show support for a city-funded immigrant resource center.
It's a response to a city council vote of 4-3 earlier this week against including the center in the city's budget for the next 2 years. Council members did vote in favor of hiring a facilitator to collect more data and create plans for a center in the future. Sophia Ray is a high school student and member of the city's Immigrant Advisory Board, which has been developing plans for the center. She feels the advisory board is being ignored.
The messaging we're getting is that our stories and our lived experiences don't count as data or as reasonable claims to actually create this center.
Ray says rallygoers delivered a petition with more than 1,000 signatures in support of the Immigrant Resource Center to the mayor's office on Thursday. I'm Eric Tegedoff reporting.
Now to Maine, where experts say the presence of police in full tactical gear and spending hours in school lockdown mode will leave a lasting impression on teens and the staff.
Phone calls claiming an active shooter was on school grounds were reported at 10 high schools across the state. Many students hid for hours while staff members prepared for the worst. Others sent text messages to family members fearing their lives were in danger. Greg Marley of the National Alliance on Mental Illness in Maine says the threat was real until it was proven otherwise, and each person affected will have a different reaction.
And based on their previous trauma, their personality, their mental health condition, it could be incredibly traumatic, or it could be just really upsetting.
Marley says it's important to not minimize anyone's experience, even if it was based on a hoax. He says maintaining a healthy diet and exercise along with proper sleep are not to be underrated in preventing students from falling into despair. Teens can also text NAMI Maine's crisis hotline at 207-515-8398. I'm Catherine Carley reporting.
Marley says that parents should reach out to school officials should students remain fearful. He recommends parents and students tour the school together to better understand the safety mechanisms that are in place. Now from CNBC, the Biden administration said in a new court filing that it will ask the Supreme Court to lift an injunction and allow a major student loan debt program to resume. The filing came 3 days after a federal appeals court in St. Louis issued a nationwide injunction temporarily barring the program. CNBC notes the ruling by the appeals court was the latest in a series of legal challenges to Biden's plan to cancel up to $20,000 in student debt for millions of Americans. This is PNS. Today marks the final day of National Education Week, and a Pennsylvania high school teacher is among only 5 educators nationally to receive one of the profession's highest honors. Danielle Smith has our report.
The Horace Mann Award for Teaching Excellence goes to Kevin Gallagher, a high school computer science, math, and statistics teacher at Keystone Oaks High School in Pittsburgh. It comes with a $10,000 award, and Gallagher will be featured in a mini documentary from the National Education Association Foundation. Gallagher has been teaching for 26 years and notes the award recognizes leadership not only within the classroom but for community involvement.
Typically, the award is for advocacy for the profession. It's advocacy of your students, levels of intelligence, of diversity, gender, race, any equity in the classroom. Also for my contribution to my colleagues too, like professional development that I'd provided for them.
Gallagher says he's dedicated to increasing diversity and has worked to eliminate some barriers to learning, such as prerequisites that could otherwise keep students from enrolling in statistics and computer science classes.
And Illinois lawmakers meeting in their annual veto session in Springfield are taking a look at the controversial Safety Act one last time before it goes into effect next year.
Pretrial Fairness Act portion of the measure abolishes the state's cash bail system that critics have called unfair and discriminatory. Democrats, who hold a supermajority in the General Assembly, say they're open to minor adjustments to the legislation but don't support Republican calls for a comprehensive rewrite. Garion Gatewood heads the Illinois Justice Project, part of a coalition that backed the measure. He says they're willing to look at small fixes to ensure the new law is applied fairly.
The Illinois Justice Project stands in support of the Safety Act. Also, we understand that there's a need to work on some tweaks and some changes to make sure that when the bill rolls out, when the effective date hits, it works.
Mark Richardson reporting.
Finally, Mike Bowen lets us know the University of Wisconsin won a recent legal battle to accusations of animal abuse within its research facilities.
The case had to do with the university restricting social media comments critical of certain conditions. Those comments were posted by Maddie Cranzo, who graduated from UW in 2013 and is now an animal rights advocate. Her lawsuit was dismissed, but Cranzo feels what she witnessed while working in the school's facilities as a student is commonplace across the U.S.
The people who are making the decisions are not considering truly the needs of these animals, and that would have to change.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. We're heard on radio stations big and small, your favorite podcast platform, and find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
It's 8:21.
Your KCHW Morning Show made possible by a donation from Paul Mayer's Flowery Trail Cafe. The Flowery Trail Coffee House has changed hands. The new cafe still features familiar drive-through and coffee options, but also has added new breakfast items like biscuits and gravy, chorizo burritos, French toast, gluten-free pancakes, and more. The Flowery Trail Cafe strives to use as many locally sourced ingredients as possible and has a variety of healthy food options, too. They're open Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 6 to 2, Saturday from 7 to 3, Sundays from 8 to 3, and they're closed on Wednesday and Thursday. For more information, you can call them at 509-936-9140. Visit them at 6 West Webster Avenue in Chewelah or online at flowerytrailcafe.com. Your KCHW Morning Show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-8800.
6414. KCHW FM thanks God-fearing brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
This is KCHW Chewelah 102.7 FM.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7. We got Phillip Dutton and Brandon Hanson with us today. And I don't know if you can see the video feed, Brandon, but since you didn't have a video feed, I worked really hard during the break to find a picture of Brandon Hanson, a humiliating picture as it is, and put that along with the video feed.
That looks amazing.
All right, actually, it's a pretty good photo. But the last time I did something like that, somebody posted on our video feed on Facebook and said, that's really creepy because the one dude's not moving.
Yep. For a second there, from a distance, I was like, why does he keep smiling?
What is he doing?
That was that movie with Ben Stiller where he did all the looks like Magnum and stuff. That's Brandon's a Magnum look.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Getting started off this segment with some bits and breaks. I hope you're ready for this, Phillip, because well, yeah, you're going first. This is, and I don't even have any sound effects for it. This is horrible. This is the turkey weather forecast for Thanksgiving with Phillip Dutton.
Oh yeah. I got it here. Sorry, I
wasn't prepared.
I didn't know you were gonna jump right there, but I'm gonna be there in just a second, hopefully.
All right. I could do it again. This is the turkey weather forecast with Phillip Dutton.
Okay. Turkeys will thaw in the morning, then warm in the oven to an afternoon high near 190 degrees Fahrenheit. The kitchen will turn hot and humid. And if you bother the cook, be ready for severe squall or cold shoulder. During the late afternoon and evening, the cold front of a knife will slice through the turkey, causing an accumulation of 1 to 2 inches on plates. Mashed potatoes will drift across one side, while cranberry sauce creates slippery spots on the other. Please pass the gravy. A weight watch and indigestion warning have been issued for the entire area with increased stuffiness around the beltway. During the evening, the turkey will diminish and taper off to leftovers, dropping to a low of 34 degrees in the refrigerator. And looking ahead to Friday and Saturday, high pressure to eat sandwiches will be established. Flurries of leftovers can be expected both days with a 50% chance of scattered soup late in the day. We expect a warming trend where soup develops by early next week. Eating pressures will be low as the only wish left will be the bone.
All right. And that is your Thanksgiving weather forecast with Phillip Dutton. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And now, continuing with Thanksgiving, it's Bad Poetry with Brandon Hanson.
Do we have some music for this?
I do not have any music for this.
Not like harp or anything? All right. Give it a try.
Here, I got some music for you. See, yodeling is music.
That sounds like an open mic night at the Oasis. Okay. Let's see here. So, Bad Poetry. Thanksgiving is almost here. It makes me feel so unstable. I always eat too much, and plus I have to sit at the kiddie table. I try.
All right. I could kind of picture you sitting in like, a grade school chair, one of the really small plastic ones of the kiddie table.
The ones that are like a foot off the ground.
Yeah. All right. What is the Sunday after Thanksgiving? course, Wednesday, everybody knows they have Thursday off for Thanksgiving. So Wednesday is considered Drunksgiving. So people like to go out and drink. All right. Thursday, then, of course, Thanksgiving. Friday is Black Friday. Saturday is Small Business Saturday. Monday is Cyber Monday. Tuesday is Giving Tuesday. But what is Sunday after Thanksgiving?
It's nap day.
Nap day? It could be like football day, right? Wasn't there a bunch of games on that Sunday?
Football day. Football. Dun, 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 dun.
And if you're going to make some of that delicious turkey soup, it could be soup day, but no soup for you. All right. Let's start this conversation. I know all of us have pets. Phillip, what do you get your pet for Christmas?
I don't know, some kind of treat. Lots of times in the past, I've been able to like get treats, and if you wrap them up, the dog will like open the wrapping paper because it can smell the treats.
Ooh, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What about for Cheddar?
Oh, I don't know. Some sort of like scratchy pad.
Okay.
You know, like the cardboard ones with the catnip.
Oh yeah.
He likes those.
Why did you name your cat Cheddar, by the way?
At the time, he didn't have a name, but anytime you'd hear that little plastic bag sound of the cheese, he would run into the kitchen, and he still does it. And he'd try to like, put his paws up onto the cutting board, like to get it.
I want some cheese.
Likes cheese. Yeah. Can't blame him.
All right, Brandon, you've got a dog, right?
I do have a dog and a cat.
And a cat. And have you ever bought them holiday presents?
Oh, all the time. I am just like the Santa Claus of pets.
Like what?
Oh, man. Like, let's see here. Sweaters, a few chew toys, a few scratching posts. I have so many scratching posts in my house. It's ridiculous. Although I'm thinking one of the reasons I was late today is my cat threw up all over my mouse on my computer. So I'm thinking this Christmas, I'm going to give the cat a gift of a new home.
Or perhaps a vomit-proof mouse.
Apparently. This is, yeah.
That had to be on purpose. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Something about the timing of this is just not.
I have a friend, she was telling me that their cat pees in the house, but it only pees on her side of the bed. And I think that cat's trying to tell you something. All right. Of course, I have spoiled Mooch for years. Window perches, beds. My cat has like a ridiculous amount of beds. There's a bed in every corner for the cat. It says here, we spend more on Christmas gifts for our pets than our friends. On average, Americans will spend $85 on their pets and only $80 on friends. And that's probably more than one. It says friends, so that's maybe like your best four friends, $20 each. Yeah.
It's easy to like pets more than people.
Sure.
Perfectly honest with you.
All right, moving along this morning, bits and breaks. Brandon, what is something you would never buy secondhand? And there's a list to go along with that you can roll out.
Oh, my God. Well, can I just answer it?
Sure.
A cat that throws up on everything. All right, I'm done.
You can usually get those for free.
Yeah, they just show up.
Secondhand cat.
What is something you never buy secondhand? A helmet, either motorcycle or bike. Maybe some of you bike riding people can explain that to me, why you wouldn't buy that secondhand. Is there like an expiration date or something?
No, the sweat from somebody else's head's going to be in that helmet. It probably, the next time you're at a thrift store and you see a helmet, I want you to pick it up and stick your nose in there and take a whiff, Brandon.
There's Febreze, Scott. You can Febreze that, right?
Okay. I don't know how bicycle helmets are developed, but I know with like football and motorcycle helmets, there's like a shell inside, and even if you just drop it on the ground, it's enough to fracture that protective inside to where it wouldn't protect you as much if you were to get into an accident.
That's a good reason too. But usually, I know because I was in a motorcycle accident, and afterwards I could take my helmet and shake it, and it was like there was rocks in it. I mean, you could hear that stuff moving around. So you could test it. I figured it was sweat, but you could be right there.
All right. Secondhand. Never buy a couch secondhand. And somebody said they work at a pest control company, and the number one thing that is brought in to them is used furniture, usually a couch.
Could have some bugs in there. Fleas affect your whole house and all your animals. That'd be bad. So
mice.
What else?
A mattress.
Same thing.
Secondhand mattress.
Maybe even worse. There could be a lot of other things on that.
Well, I think I will say, but if you do buy somebody's like RV mattress that they've slept on like 3 times a year, that's I think acceptable. I think probably purchase like somebody's camping mattress that they don't use a whole lot. I think you're all right.
You feel a little safer with that? Okay, I go with that.
Earbuds. I mean, headphones are okay, but not earbuds.
Why not?
Yeah.
Wax?
Yeah,
just
wax.
like Clorox wipe those bad boys and you're good to go.
Ew. Can't get every nook and cranny.
I got some. I'll tell you, I was leaned over the hot tub the other day. Both my earbuds fell out and right into the hot tub.
That's awesome. Good job, Scott. Were you like, oh,
whoop, whoop? Yeah, and they were the Bluetooth ones, so I don't think that's going to work out very well.
Or are they done?
I haven't tried them yet.
Okay. Another thing you don't want to buy secondhand, skydiving equipment, climbing equipment, or anything safety related.
Huh. So I shouldn't do anything with that used parachute.
Yeah. Skydiving equipment only used once.
A few scratches.
Yeah. Barely used skydiving equipment.
Oh, man.
At an estate sale.
Maybe you'll have better luck.
Yeah. And the final one, bed sheets. Never get secondhand bed sheets.
Huh. You know, you can bleach those and wash them. So
I'm thinking about this.
I'd be disagreeing with that one.
No, bed sheets are like $8, man.
That's true.
You can go to Walmart and like pay pennies for them.
I would never buy underwear or socks at a secondhand store. That's just kind of creepy.
I thought that was going to be like number one.
Yeah, it's not even on the list. Underwear.
I know.
Do they even have secondhand underwear? I feel like the stores just probably throw that out.
I have seen it at ones before. Maybe not like one of the chain secondhand stores like Goodwill or something like that. But and then I've seen like what would you call them? Where you picked them up at auction. They were new old stock or something like that. I could see that. But actually, I've been in a thrift store before and actually seen used underwear and was like, no way. Who buys that? And then I'd throw into that a hat. I don't want a used hat. It's just, yeah.
What if it's like a cowboy hat?
Yeah.
It's still got all their sweat in it, and you're never getting it out. So
like a big, like, Stetson style one. You could be an urban cowboy.
Yeah. A Maine cowboy.
All right. Quick joke. I got a quick joke. Well, let's do this first, though. Things that I didn't know yesterday. In 1992, salsa passed ketchup as the #1 condiment in the United States. That's horrible. Really?
Salsa.
All right.
So good.
I do like salsa better than ketchup, so I get it. All right. Roughly 115 million lab animals are used in scientific studies every year. All right.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Think about cheddar. Or maybe not.
I mean, sometimes I want to spray hairspray in his eyes, but
Abe Lincoln.
I don't.
Good job. Wait for holding back. All right. Abe Lincoln signed the first federal income tax into law. Really, Abe Lincoln? All right, this one will shock you. The last execution by guillotine in France happened the same year that the first Star Wars movie came out, 1977. Last time France chopped someone's head off. This seems a little too recent.
That's incredible.
That's disgusting. Worldwide, 560,000 tons of chewing gum are sold each year. Most of it can still be found under restaurant tables.
Yes.
Gross.
Very large mound.
You ever accidentally brushed your hand across the bottom of a restaurant table and felt the gum on there? That's disgusting.
Gum's disgusting.
All right. A word you can type on the top letter row of a standard keyboard. It might be the only word you can type. Typewriter.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I was going to say yep.
Somebody planned that. Ants outnumber humans 1 million to 1.
And they could take us over if they wanted to.
That's right. And sharks don't like magnets.
So should I wear magnets in the ocean then?
Exactly. Cover yourself in magnets if you're swimming near sharks. But rumor has it sharks do not mind laser beams attached to their foreheads.
Yeah, it's very true.
Now that quick joke. A little girl asked her father, Daddy, do all fairy tales begin with once upon a time? He replied, no. There's a whole series of fairy tales that begin with, if elected, I promise.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right.
That's good. If elected, I promise to win all these lawsuits against me.
And back to Phillip for our favorite holiday gathering games. What does your family play?
I mean, I'm trying to think. We do play any games? No, not really.
No.
But there are many families that love to play. Uno. That's a good one. I've never heard of Watch Your Mouth. Have you?
That's what Mom says at the table.
I think that's just an argument. I don't think that's an actual game.
There's Heads Up.
Yeah, what's Heads Up? Ooh, I gotta look this up. I have the internet.
I've played Heads Up where it's like you have to guess the word on your, and you hold the phone on your head or a card.
Oh yeah. I've seen that. I played that before.
Yeah.
It's like that episode of The Office.
Mm-hmm.
Diversity Day. Yeah.
Cards Against Humanity, which is pretty fun. Truth or Drink.
That sounds terrible. Bringing that drunk uncle to Thanksgiving and playing Truth or Drink.
That's my family. Totally.
They call that Never Have I Ever.
Okay.
Or Jenga.
Always fun.
Yep.
All right. You said you guys didn't play any games at the holidays. Brandon, the Hansons, do they play any games around the holidays?
Yeah, we just cut down a bunch of trees.
Huh?
Yeah. We just go in the backyard and just start chopping down trees.
Loggers.
Yeah.
So in my family, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna. It's more like the Truth or Drink stuff. It really is. There's a lot of drinking, and I'm not saying if I participate in that at all, but then it turns into a lot of gambling. and other like 1 year we were up out. My parents had a cabin outside of Newport. And my brother-in-law went out. Dad had a 9-hole putt-putt course around the yard, and with lots of hills, and it's lots of. I mean, you're trying to putt-putt golf through vegetation, which is really tough. And but anyways, he put in this 9-hole course. And my brother went out there in the winter, 3 feet of snow, dug out the putt-putt course, and we all played putt-putt golf in the snow. So that was kind of a fun game. And then it takes it into the gambling, and I don't get blackjack, poker. And gambling for money, which can cause some hard feelings in your family. And then it'll even get more carried away where we'll get tired of playing those kind of gambling games. And then we'll have a pool to bet who can guess how much snow's in the front yard.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, anything to keep it lively. All right. And then there was one year I remember where my brother had a few too many, and I was picking on him, and he decided to fight me. And he was in the Navy, so he could fight. And I have no fighting skills. But luckily, he was intoxicated. And we had a cathedral ceiling, and Mom always liked to put like the 20-foot tree inside the house. And there was one year where he tried to kick me in the head. And he spun around about 3 times and went right into the Christmas tree and then pulled it down on top of himself, which was a pretty good highlight for the holidays.
Oh, boy.
Man, that's
All
great.
All right. And now that Mom's passed away, there's nobody to stop this kind of mayhem. So
man, you're just gonna be betting on everything. You're gonna be betting on the snow level in Buffalo.
And getting kicked in the head.
And getting kicked in the head, yeah. I'm so glad he missed. That would have like ruined the holidays for everybody, especially me. All right. Let's see. Before we do odd news, if I can scroll there real quickly, I'd like to do a few movies that we're having this weekend. Now, some of them also are going to be dual released at the theaters and on TV because apparently people still do not want to go to the movies. It's a bad thing, and it's a thing. All right, first up, I've got The Menu in theaters this weekend. Young couple travels to a remote island to eat at an exclusive restaurant where the chef has prepared a lavish menu with some shocking surprises. I don't know if this is like horror or just boring.
Oh, that's
people.
Yeah, it's definitely a horror movie, or it's the most British movie ever made. Either or.
Yeah. They figured they'd trick people and not call it Downton Abbey.
It's just British people eating with bad teeth, right?
Yeah, it's just 2 hours of the most delightful meal and conversation you've ever watched on the big screen.
All right. Ralph Fiennes is in it, so it could be very British. And, I clicked on it, and it says it is comedy horror. So that might actually be fun. All right.
Oh, that does sound fun.
Yeah.
Comedy horror is the perfect genre.
It is. All right, we have She Said. New York Times reporter Megan Tolley and Jodi Kantor break one of the most important stories in a generation, a story that helped launch the Me Too movement and shattered decades of silence around the subject of sexual assault in Hollywood. Is that one more of a documentary? Disenchanted, it's the sequel to Enchanted, and that's on Disney+. Perhaps the one that's being panned already, Spirited. This is the musical version of the Charles Dickens story, starring Will Ferrell and what's his name that played Deadpool?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Thank you very much. And that one is at theaters and on Apple TV. Another one on Prime Video, a new one, The People We Hate at the Wedding, and that's your drunk uncle. For the kids, and it's on Paramount Plus, Blue's Big City Adventure. Josh and Blue head to New York City for an audition to big Broadway musical. And on Netflix, it's Slumberland. A young girl discovers a secret map to a dream world of Slumberland. And with the help of an eccentric outlaw, she traverses dreams and flees nightmares with the hope that she will be able to see her late father again. All right, what's the most likely thing you guys will watch?
I'll probably watch football.
All right. Phillip?
I don't know. I'll probably watch She Said.
All right, She Said. Okay. All right. Good
Yeah.
for you. Good for you. All right, taking the
Is
documentary.
Star Trek 2 still streaming somewhere? I can watch that.
Probably.
Yes.
I will say that I have been watching this really weird show on Netflix called 1899. It's hard to describe, but it's basically about like this ghost cruise ship in like the 1899.
All
Yeah.
right. A
But
ghost
it's cool.
cruise ship. All right. I'll have to check that
Yep.
out. All right. And then for you, Brandon, if you're still looking for Star Trek 2. I try to play that at least once a day.
Yeah.
All right. The new Rock movie that came out a couple weekends ago. I caught that one, but I can't remember anything about it, so I'm guessing it wasn't that good.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, literally, I've totally forgotten the entire movie.
Those are always good movies.
I didn't know there. Oh, Black Adam.
Thank you. I couldn't remember the title. I saw it like 3 weeks ago. Totally gone out of my mind.
I didn't know he was in a movie, but then it popped in my head.
All right, here we go. Wrapping up the show with the Stupids. And that's actually just more than us.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Oh, yeah, and we always kick off that odd news with the news attack, where the first part's real and the second part is a bad attempt at a joke. Brandon Hanson, you're on the top today. Will you kick us off?
I have bad news, Scott.
What's that?
I was not sent the news.
Oh, you don't remember how to log into that website?
Oh, well, I thought it was all.
No, it's not. It's
in
not.
front of me there.
It's not. That was just the extra stuff. All right, so you log into Interprep, and Phillip, will you take us off on the news attack?
The NFL is relocating the Bills' home game against the Cleveland Browns to Detroit on Sunday because of a snowstorm forecast to hit the Buffalo region. What's the problem with playing in the snow? Is the football white or something?
Study found that dog owners live longer. Makes sense, because after all, you can't count on a cat to run back into town and alert the townspeople that you've fallen into an abandoned well. Or can you?
You just throw up on your mouse.
Just throw up on your mouse. Are you with us now, Brandon?
Yes.
All right.
Researchers say seabirds often eat the plastic floating in the ocean because they're attracted to the fragrance of plastic. That also explains why they're attracted to the food left in a McDonald's parking lot.
Ouch.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
A study found that not only do rats love to be tickled, but they tend to giggle. They're giggling because they're thinking about what they're going to do to your face when you fall asleep.
What's your job? Oh, I tickle rats. 32-year-old British Army officer is beginning a journey of over 1,100 miles across Antarctica in hopes of becoming the first woman to complete the trip solo and without support. Of course, other than the support of her TikTok followers.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's a long walk.
Yeah.
How long does that take?
Sounds scary.
Yeah.
It's kind of cold down there. Is it summer down there now, though? It is, isn't it? Since we're in winter, they get summer.
But it's still cold, isn't it?
But sure. I'm not as cold as what it is right now outside. It's like 2 degrees outside.
Yuck.
Let's see here. Studies show that uninsured patients in the hospital suffering from traumatic injury are twice as likely to die as insured patients suffering from the same injury. The difference lies in their treatment, the standardized life support machine versus the manually operated one.
Which you actually have to run yourself?
Yeah, you got to keep just pressing the little ball that, keeps you alive. It's fine. It's fine, guys. Everything is going well.
The true part of that scares me, though. Uninsured patients are twice as likely to die as insured patients. That's kind of sad. Don't get sick. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, don't you know, like, your level of finances is dependent on the level of care you get.
Wow.
Study shows that we may be taking too much vitamin D. Unless vitamin D is in beer, I should be okay.
Intake's doing just fine there.
Which one's vitamin D?
I've never seen it before.
The
Is
sun one?
Is it the sun one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, then I'm definitely not getting that, man. I don't go outside unless I need to.
You look like you're totally anemic to vitamin D.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
probably
real reason why you're not on camera.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
He's extra pale today.
Yeah, having a pale day.
All right, Transportation Security Administration agents found a knife artfully concealed inside a man's laptop at a Virginia airport, which is a reminder that only weapons you're allowed to bring on a plane is a screaming child. Oh, ow. All right, on to the world of wacky but true. We don't add any jokes to these stories because they're all self-contained with the stupidity, and Brandon Hansen is kicking us off on wacky but true.
All right, a driver in Arizona shouldn't have been surprised when his SUV was hit by a train after he tried to drive around the lowered railroad crossing arms at some railroad track. The man was the only one in the SUV and had to be taken to the hospital. The incident happened in Surprise, Arizona.
Whoa.
Surprise.
That's irony.
I see what you did there, Arizona.
Oh, wow.
Surprise, surprise!
Or a little more friendly than that guy.
Surprise, surprise, surprise!
Arizona. All right, that's crazy. Phillip.
Thieves rolled up the red carpet outside a Switzerland hotel, making off with the expensive wool rug in the dead of night, even though it was screwed down.
Switzerland. Did they have a Swiss Army knife?
Wah, wah, wah.
Does it have a screwdriver on there?
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go live to Switzerland. That's the best yodeling I've ever heard. All right, on to Germany for a couple stories. German authorities say a police van became stuck in wet concrete when it took a wrong turn while chasing some suspected criminals. The suspects were later apprehended. Those Germans. Which sound effect do you want me to play, Brandon? You want me to play it? Do you?
Yes.
Your favorite? Yeah?
Play it.
Ooh, the Germans are mad at me. I'm so scared. Ooh, the Germans. Uh-oh, the Germans are coming to get me.
Stop teasing us.
Oh, don't let the Germans come after me.
Please stop the pretending you're
the
scared,
Germans are
Game.
coming
Stop
after me. Oh, no, they're so big and
Stop
strong.
pretending.
Oh,
Stop
protect me
pretending
from
you're
the
scared of
Germans,
us,
the
please.
Germans.
Stop it.
Ooh, they're so big and strong. And just saying, I'm like almost 100% German. Jew. Just saying.
9.
All right, Mr. Hansen, keep us in Germany, would you?
Yes, in Germany, a jewelry shopkeeper thought it was a coincidence that a customer's name on a credit card was the same as his. Then he turned the card over and saw his own signature. That's when he realized the customer had stolen his card in a recent burglary and was unaware of who he had handed it to. The unlucky customer who tried to charge the jeweler was instead charged by police.
Wow. It's so great. You know, criminals are dumb.
Dumb luck.
Yeah. I only had one other German sound effect.
What? Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
And it ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Who's with me? Let's go! Come on!
That's a long sound effect. Wow. All right, last story, and then you're free to start your weekend. Phillip, will you roll us out with one out of Scotland?
In Scotland, a new museum asked the public what should they name themselves. The answer, by a wide margin, was wonderfully boring. The museum in Perth, Scotland, has been named the Perth Museum. More than 450 ideas were submitted, and naming the museum in Perth, the Perth Museum was the top choice.
Huh.
The land of imagination.
That's the same way we ended up with Welcome Home on the sign coming into Chewelah.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Stroke of brilliance.
Ooh, did I say that out loud? All right. I think I have some Scottish sound effects.
Doesn't it make you proud to be Scottish?
How about this?
Oh, even Steak would say that stinks.
Perth Museum, huh?
Oh, even Steak would say that stinks.
All right, and just one more because we all know it's true.
Welcome to All Things Scottish. Our slogan is, if it's no Scottish, it's crap!
Yeah. All right, big thank you. And another round of applause for Phillip Dutton and the Frozen in Time, Brandon Hanson, for showing up for the morning show today.
Yay.
Couple reminders as we go out the door. That is tonight, 6 o'clock, Melody Riders Arena. It is a pep rally for our boys, our Cougar football boys, going to state. Get out there and support them, and you might want to just bundle up a little bit, just a little. And then, Mr. Hanson, tell us again where you're going to be today.
I'll be at the library from 10 to 3 for TED in the library, providing just TED services. So if you need some business services, just let me know.
All right, business services, and that includes if you are thinking about opening a new business, correct?
Yes, correct. There's startup support there.
And that starts at 10 this morning, Brandon?
Yes, 10 if I can get out of here soon enough.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much. And then don't forget, Decorate Chewelah. You're meeting at 212 North Baker Street in Chewelah, 9 o'clock tomorrow if you want to participate. Other than that, we hope you have a great weekend. It is KCHW 102.7. Say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, boys.
Bye.
Surprise, surprise.
He's an idiot. Comes from upbringing. Parents are probably idiots too.
Oh, is that what you want?
Yup.
Because that's how you get ants.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
Are you ready to make a difference in Chewelah? New Health is hiring for several clinical positions in our Chewelah